If you're looking to find more bead projects, this one is divine. The bead diamond charm is the perfect unique design. With its simplistic pattern that looks great, has a simplistic shape, fast, fun, and easy to make. It's a bead project that must be seen. It can be attached to nearly anything. So get ready for this tutorial that will satisfy your creative needs. Of course, feel free to give this video a like and enjoy this episode of TurboBeads. Here's the list of everything you need to make the bead diamond charm. Before we start this project, I'm sure many of you are going to ask what string I'm using for this. So I'm letting you know that I'm using Creatology Jelly Cord. It's a round plastic lace and has a bit of flexibility, and it's transparent. I picked it up from my local Michael's craft store. It works great and it's pretty cheap. Unfortunately, this is not a sponsored video. I'm just giving you my opinion of this string. With that out of the way, let's create something great. So start out by taking 3 feet of string and add 1 purple bead to the string. Once you have that bead on the string, you're going to take both ends of string, matching them up. Then you'll hold both ends of string, pushing that bead toward the center of the string. This will be the first row of the pattern and ensure that that bead is in the center, giving us an equal length of string to use on both sides. Be sure to keep that bead in the center of the string. Next, we'll use the straw technique to create the next rows. Since the straw is transparent and our beads are as well, this will work better than the toothpick technique. First, we'll need to split the straw in half, making it easier to add beads to the straw. So watch closely as I cut the straw, splitting it down the center. When cutting the straw down the center, be sure that you take your time to ensure that you are as careful as possible, as this part may be a challenge for some. Just a reminder to always be alert and safe. With the straw split down the middle, this will make it a bit easier to add beads to it. You'll see that the straw will reinforce the row of beads, keeping them straight aligned once added to the straw. Next, we'll add 2 purple beads to that straw. As you will see, this will end up being the second row of this pattern. So check this out. Now that we have those beads on the straw, we can now carefully cut the straw, keeping it from showing through the sides, as that straw will stay hidden within the beads. Now we can take the beads that the straw is hidden within and take one end of the string and add those beads to the string. With those beads on the string, we'll now take our other end of string and we're going to run it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Once you get that string through those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until you've reached the top. As you can see, this will bring all of the beads together and it should look just like this. With the second row finished, creating the next row is just as simple as this one. So to make the next row, we'll use the same steps as we've just done. For the third row, we'll take the straw, but this time we're going to add 3 beads to the straw. As you see, I'm using 2 purple beads with a green bead in the middle, creating a unique color pattern. Now that we have those beads on the straw, you'll once again carefully cut the straw, keeping it from showing through the sides. With the straw hidden within those 3 beads, we will now be taking one end of the string and adding those beads to the string. Next, you'll take that other end of string and run it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. With that string through all of those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until you've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. As you will see, from this point, we'll continue repeating the same steps when creating additional rows, by adding the beads to the straw, cutting the straw to keep it hidden within the beads, taking one end of the string and adding the beads to that string, then taking the other end of string and running it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction, pulling both ends of those string until you've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. So just continue repeating these steps, creating additional rows, following the pattern as seen at the top of the screen. Watching this visual reference, you'll see that this pattern should be pretty easy to create, with its simple design of purple, green, and orange beads that make up a unique color pattern and shape of a diamond. Of course, you already know there are always different and creative combinations that you can use for your creation. Will you use this color pattern or go with your own custom colors? The creative options are always in your hands. Leave a comment below letting me know what colors you decide to use. As a quick tip, be sure to take your time when assembling each row, remembering to pull the string evenly on both sides, ensuring that you have the same amount of string to use on each side. pulling the string just enough to keep those beads in a tight formation. Also, making sure that you have the correct number of beads on that row to ensure that the pattern turns out in the desired shape of a diamond. As you see, the 11th row only consists of one bead and doesn't require using a straw, but still uses the same steps, and of course, when you pull the string, all the beads come together. With the 11th row finished, we'll tie the string together in a knot. To make the knot, we'll take both ends of string, match them up, wrapping them around the string, creating a loop. Then, we'll take those two ends of string and run those through the loop, pulling the two ends while pushing the loop into a knot. This will lock everything into place. Be sure that your knot is tied nice and tight to ensure that everything stays together. With that knot tied, this is what it should look like. Now that the main pattern is locked into place, you should still have two hanging ends of string. So what we'll do next is we'll take one end of the string and add 3 beads to the string. As you can see, I'm using 2 purple beads and an orange bead in the middle, fitting the theme of the color scheme. Now we'll need to find a spot in the string to tie a knot. This way we'll be able to keep the 3 beads on the string. So watch closely as I tie the knot in the string, as it should be easy to figure out and see. Just be sure to tie your knot nice and secure to ensure it stays together. You may also want to tie your knot at least 2 to 3 times to ensure that those beads don't slip through. Now that knot is tied and it's nice and secure, you'll see that those 3 beads will stay on the string. From this point, we'll do the same thing with the other end of string. Again, we'll add 3 beads to the string using the same pattern and color scheme. Of course, next is finding a spot in the string, tying a knot several times with knots that are tied nice and secure to ensure that everything stays together and the 3 beads stay on as well. Again, continue watching and you'll see as I tie the string. Another quick tip, when tying the knot in the string, you may also want to tie the string in the relatively same spot as the previous string so that the beads line up when finished and on display. Remember to just be sure to tie the knot nice and secure. With this visual, I'm sure you're able to see that this knot is tied securely and the beads won't slip through. Now that we've tied both ends of string with the beads locked on, you can now carefully cut or trim off the tied loose ends of string. Now that the loose ends of string are carefully cut off, this is how it should look. As you can see, the main part of your bead diamond charm should be complete. You can always use it as a standalone charm if you want to, but you'll see that I'm not finished just yet. So here is an added bonus. If you have about 6 inches of string, you can run that string to the first row. That's the bead here on top. When you get that string through that bead, you'll match up both ends of string. Next, you'll take 3 beads and add them to those matched ends of string. With those beads on the string, you can now push those beads toward the bottom, just like this. As you will see, these 3 beads will act as a spacer. As this may come as no surprise to some, at this point, if you've made a bead dream catcher, you can now combine the two together, making this the perfect addition. So you'll take one end of the string and run it through a single bead point here at the bottom. So watch closely as I guide the string through this bead. When you get that string through that bead and pull it all the way through, the beads will all come together. Now that the string is pulled all the way through, next is to make sure that the charm is exactly where we want it to be and the string isn't tangled up. Then, at this point, we'll be able to tie both ends of string together with a square knot, combining these 2 pieces together, locking everything into place. Always remember to tie your knots nice and secure to ensure that everything stays together. As I tie the string together, you should be able to see that the diamond charm fits perfectly into place and stays in position. Now that knot is tied securely and everything is locked into place, all that is left is to carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string, and your bead diamond charm is now complete. And there you have it, another divine, unique bead design that was fun to make. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful, and you can create one just as great. If there's anything you'd like to add, requests or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you are new, or you just haven't already, don't forget, you can always subscribe if you want to be notified for more bead tutorials just like this one. Hoping you'll tune in for the next one to satisfy your creative needs. Until next time, as always, create the dream, live a dream. Thanks for watching TurboBeads.